Hello, welcome to Seller Source Pro, and this is another one of our videos where we're going to talk about kind of out-of-the-box thinking when it comes to sourcing for your eBay, Poshmark, Amazon, or whichever platform you guys sell on. So as you know, if you're new to the channel, my name is Jack. I've been a full-time eBay and Poshmark seller, mainly eBay, over the last 2.5 years. I hit it really hard and went full-time and was able to kind of learn from the ups and downs and create pretty much a six-figure business at this point. One of the things that we talk about on this channel is basically how to source. So lots of other channels and YouTube channels that deal with reselling talk about Goodwill, Salvation Army, thrift stores, and of course garage sales, which are always a lot of fun. And some of them are now even talking about liquidation, buying pallets from Amazon, things of that nature, which are all great. But what makes us a little bit different is we don't want to do the same thing as everybody else, and we don't want to show things that people are already showing, because I totally respect those other channels and the way that they've approached their content. So what I will usually try to do is to give you guys some thoughts that are out of the box, things that are really working for me that maybe you haven't tried before. So today we're going to talk a little bit about a topic that I know everybody gets a little weird about, which is competitors. So if you go to Goodwill on a regular basis or Salvation Army in your local area, many times if you are a full-time reseller, and I go every day for the most part, or at least three to four times a week at the least, you get to know the faces of the other people that are in the same area as you. So if you are a big shoe seller, you're going to see those same people that are in the shoe section. If you go ahead and sell men's clothing, which is what I primarily do, you see a lot of the same people flipping hangers left and right, and you kind of get to know their faces. Well, some of these people obviously are shy, or they look at you and they know that you're doing some of the same things as them. But here's the deal. I was just like that. And I used to get aggravated. I would walk into Goodwill and I'd see that same guy near the men's jeans section, and I'd get all aggravated before I even walked over there, thinking he was taking everything that I wanted. Well, after a while, you take a deep breath and you realize that even though they may actually be in the same business as you, their business model may be very different. So the brands they are choosing may be different than yours, maybe even sizes. I've seen people that, since I do a lot of jeans, that refuse to take some of the bigger sizes and they leave them for me. So your business model and your brands are not the same as everybody else. And after I kind of figured that out, that these people are not the enemy, I realized that talking to them certainly makes the day go faster. There are plenty of great people here in North Carolina that I've met over the last 2 years that I have learned a lot from, and hopefully they've learned a lot from me in terms of sharing listing, how to list, the way we take our pictures, our lighting, as you see behind me, maybe even some pricing tips, and brands as well. Yes, there are always going to be people that are not friendly, that are going to look at you as simply a competitor. And that's just the way it goes in life, whether you're working at a regular job or whether you're doing what we do. But the people that you do become friendly with and at least have casual conversations with can lead to some very interesting things. So because I'm a friendly person, I share a lot of things with other people and open up the topics when I talk to them about what's going well and what's not going well. And I have learned so much and gotten so much feedback from some of the other sellers that I see in Goodwill on a regular basis. Now, the reason for doing this video is to tell you a very specific story. So about 3.5, 4 months ago, I was introduced to another local seller. And this woman does mainly Poshmark. She's done women's clothing and men's clothing and has had fairly good success at it. Wonderful, wonderful woman. Very, very open. We've shared wonderful stories and helped each other along the way over the last few months. Well, I hadn't seen her for a few weeks. And last week, we ran into each other and she was so excited to see me because she was telling me that she's turning 40 years old and she's decided to take this wonderful trip from North Carolina across the country to California over the next few months. And because of that, she's decided to liquidate all of her inventory at this time. And she does have a storage place where she keeps everything. And I was invited there Saturday. So Saturday, me and my wife went to her storage place and basically were able to pick through all of her items, and she set a price of $1 an item. So it was phenomenal. There was tons of women's clothing. There were shoes. There was hats. There was jackets, my jeans, and of course men's shirts. And the phenomenal thing was, she just needed to move the items because she was leaving town, and she certainly didn't want to pay for the storage place over the next 6, 7, 8 months while she was doing this traveling. So we were both doing each other a favor. And the only reason that this happened is because I'm open and I talk to other people. So if you're that type of person and you're open-minded and you're willing to share and sometimes mentor other people that are new in the business, karma comes back to you in spades. There's no doubt about that. And in this situation, it really did. So for $1 an item on Saturday, we spent about an hour at her storage place and walked away with some incredible items. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm going to show you one of them that is pretty mind-blowing, and everybody loves to find this item. So what we're talking about is Tommy Bahama men's jeans, the vintage. Now, I do find these on a fairly regular basis with the old flag on there. However, take a look, if you can see it, what's on the seam. All the way down is the spell out. So that is pretty phenomenal. They're in perfect condition with the flag, vintage, probably 90s. I would assume it's probably in the 90s. These jeans, with the spell out going down the seam, go for between $75 to $110 on a regular basis if you look at the solds on eBay. This would have never happened if I didn't reach out and was a friendly person and looked at people as something other than just another competitor. So that's just one of the items. One of the other items I found, I have no idea what it's worth, but I couldn't let it go, was this incredible jacket. Take a look at this. This is pretty awesome with the Tasmanian Devil. I mean, that is freaking amazing, huh? Look at that. Graphics on both sides. I have absolutely no idea what this thing's going for, but it is quality. It is nice. So on top of that, I got a bunch of other jeans that are worth between $17 to $30 on average for me, and a lot of shirts. The funny thing is, I already put up a few of the shirts just from Saturday, and this video is being made Monday night. 2 of the shirts already sold. So that's the great news. Those shirts paid for everything else. The jeans are already up and getting a lot of lookers. But the point is, don't look at everybody just as a competitor. Be willing to reach out to those other people that are doing some of the same things as you. Another great story here, and I'll end with this one, is that I've met many people that don't source the same thing as me. So they're more than willing to look for shoes. So there's another individual that's here locally. He does mainly vintage items and sneakers. He doesn't do any women's shoes, dance goes, things of that nature. And when he runs across some of those items that he knows that I want, he's more than willing to pick them up because we know we're going to hook up in the next couple of days at one of the other thrift stores. Or he'll just text me. So that's the reason why, yes, some of these people are your competitors, but you can't be everywhere. You can't be in every Goodwill every time a rack comes out. Sometimes they're going to beat you to it, and sometimes you're going to beat them to it. And sometimes there's no beating anybody because they're not even looking for the same things as you. Keep an open mind. So the tip for the day here is that sometimes your sourcing comes from very interesting places. It comes from your competitors themselves if you're willing to talk, if you're willing to be a good guy or a good girl. So that's the tip of the day. Stay tuned. We've got a lot of other things coming up, a lot more tips. and a lot of big sourcing opportunities because, as you guys probably know, we are working on a membership site that's going to be extremely limited how many members are in there, and it's going to be using the technology that I use to be able to source locally and sell globally. So that's a story. You'll hear more about that in other videos as we get closer to that launch. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for a lot of fun videos in regards to the comic books and other eBay and Poshmark tips. Have a great day, and we hope to see you here on YouTube as well as at our Instagram account, which is at Seller Source Pro. That's the name. We'll see you there. Have a great day. Bye-bye.